Today, we are in the Long Island City neighborhood of New York City to try out a legendary bar called Dutch Kills. Please join us as we check out the space and try a few drinks to see if this place is worth you giving a visit. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are back in New York City, and we're actually out in Queens in Long Island City, and we're going to check out the cocktail bar Dutch Kills. Now for a little history on Dutch Kills. They were opened in 2009 by Richard Boccato and the late legendary Sasha Petraske, with the primary goal of bringing old school cocktails with hand-cut ice back to the neighborhood. And that's exactly what they did. In fact, the ice company 100 Weight that they are partnered with and that shares the same space serves many New York bars such as Attaboy, Hawksmoor, and Death & Company, just to name a few. Now, I think it's important to go into a little more detail about one of the owners, Sasha Petraske. Sasha Petraske was the founder of the New York City cocktail bar, the legendary Milk and Honey, as well as a partner and creative force behind many of the world's most highly regarded bars. During his lifetime, he was credited with inventing modern cocktail culture. He championed consistent measuring, using fresh juice, and high-quality ice, including large clear cubes and spears. In fact, many of the world's top bartenders studied under Petraske, which really shows the influence he had. While he tragically passed away in 2015, his influence on the cocktail world cannot be understated. Many amazing cocktail bars may not exist today if it were not for him. While he is gone, his legacy does live on both in the bartenders he trained, many who have their own bars, and in some of the cocktail bars he founded, such as Dutch Kills, which are still operating today and which we're about to check out. I can say that for me personally, it was him and his bar Milk and Honey that really got me into classic, well-made craft cocktails, so I am very grateful for his legacy. So with such a storied history in the cocktail world, let's head over to Dutch Kills and experience this legendary bar for ourselves. However, what are people saying about them? Well, on Yelp, they have a 4.1 out of 872 reviews, and on Google, it's 4.5 out of 1,169 reviews. And the positives are, of course, the drinks. People like them, and also the atmosphere, and the few negatives are basically the service, whether it's too slow or just people didn't like the service in general. Well, let's head on in and see for ourselves. So as we pull up a seat to the bar here, let's take a look at this menu and see what we're going to order to drink. This drink was one of the best passion fruit drinks I've ever had. What made it stand out was the creamy mouthfeel it had. A lot of passion fruit syrups are very acidic, but this one had that nice passion fruit flavor, but was a little more smooth and had a little bit better texture. Additionally, the other ingredients, the tequila along with that Amaro Montenegro, which smoothed it out, and then the nice pop of the cayenne pepper really made this drink stand out to me. First drink, home run. If I were to use 2 words to describe this drink, it would be mezcal martini. Now, it's more complex than that, but this sips like a martini variation. You have that nice smoky mezcal balanced by the bitterness of the Salers aperitif, along with the fruity sweetness of the apricot liqueur and blanc vermouth. Then the absinthe along with the Salers adds just a little bit of anise flavor, although that's very subtle. So overall, this drink was fantastic, another home run. So my wife went with a bartender's choice, and she got a buck variation. Now, it wasn't one of the variations you saw in the previous shot. This one was a little more complex. It had rye whiskey, it had pineapple, ginger. It was a really refreshing, but at the same time rich drink, and we both really enjoyed it. Well, it looks like we're all finished up, so let's pay up and then head out, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this cocktail bar. So what are my final thoughts on this bar? Well, for the positives, I would say first the drinks. Not only are they delicious and well executed, but all the little details you want to see, such as the clear ice cubes and spears and the metal straws, are there. Second, the service was very good. The bartenders were knowledgeable and informative, especially when trying to do an off-menu bartender's choice style drink. Third was the atmosphere. I really liked the vintage rustic vibe they were going for, and the jukebox, that was a really cool touch. Fourth, I would say, is the menu. I really liked that they had not just diagrams but pictures of how each drink is served. I also like the vintage look of the menu. Now, normally I like a larger menu. However, since this style bar specializes in bartender's choice cocktails, I think a menu of this size is perfect, in that it gives you a starting point before going off menu if you are not sure what to get. Then fifth is the pricing. While this is Queens, so pricing will be cheaper than Manhattan, not only do they have a happy hour, but the drink prices are still very good for the quality of cocktails you are getting. Then sixth is location and ease of access. While it's in Long Island City, it's right across the river from Manhattan and easily accessible by Uber and Lyft, and also you have multiple subway lines such as the E, M, and R train in walking distance. Then the final positive is that Dutch Kills only has a fraction of the wait time that similar bars in Manhattan have. For instance, if we take as an example a bar in the same style, Attaboy, well, on a Saturday night they have a wait time well over an hour, sometimes even 2. Dutch Kills, in my opinion, is just as good if not better, but they don't have that same wait time. In fact, I would say that even if you're staying in Manhattan and you factor in the extra travel time, you will still most likely be sipping on a delicious, well-balanced cocktail in the same time that you would still be waiting for that phone call from Attaboy. Now, for the neutral or negative category, I don't really have any negatives. In the neutral category, I would note that there is no food, which isn't a negative to us since they are a cocktail bar, not a restaurant. Of course, I will say it's an extra credit when a bar has good food as well, and it's good to keep in mind so you can grab a bite beforehand. So with all that being said, when I look at this from the perspective of a New Yorker, someone who lives in the city or is in the city a lot, this bar is a must visit. It's in my rotation, and this is worthy of me being a regular at. That's how good Dutch Kills is, how good they execute everything. And if you live in New York and you haven't visited Dutch Kills, what are you waiting for? This bar is one of the original OGs. It's one of the few bars remaining that was started by Sasha Petraske, who was a pillar of the modern cocktail movement. So you have to give this place a try, especially if you live in New York. Now, if you're visiting the city, then Dutch Kills should definitely be on your list. In fact, I would say it's a must visit. Not only will you have some excellently crafted drinks, but you will enjoy them in one of the OG New York City cocktail bars. Well, those are my final thoughts on Dutch Kills. Please let me know what you think, or if you have any questions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe, and most importantly, always drink responsibly. Thank you for watching, and please join us again on Boozy Explores.